Okay. Good morning. Happy Saturday. This is so much fun. I've been waiting all year to come back and do community conversations in the park. It is a nice change of pace and it is really good energy. I just ask everyone who came in, please check in at the sign-in table, sign off. We just have your information to follow up, invite you to future events, answer questions if you need follow-up work. And so, stop in and see Emily and Max. And there's also plenty of brochures and resources that are available for free. Help yourself. If you see something that would be relevant to you, your family, or a neighbor, take it back to them. If you haven't already made a plate, we order plenty of food. Make sure you enjoy. I like the whole picnic style, so help yourself. We have our community partners. Thank you to everyone who has taken time out of their weekend to join us. One of the honors of this job is connecting with our community partners, learning all the amazing resources that are here in our community. And you know what people say, why don't we have someone who serves this or does certain things? That's when I get to say, but have you met my friends? And all that they do. So make sure you take some time. I know I've seen people wandering through. Take some time. I'll have them introduce themselves, what's going on. And then before you leave, they've also got really good goodies and swag, so go visit. Our next community conversation in the park will be Saturday, August 20th. Mark your calendars, also at 11 a.m. This one will be at Owen Jack's Community Center Pavilion, so just down the block. So I just wanted to start off. In all my work in the community, I get a lot of, I can't call you. You're the representative. You're so important. I can't bother you. You have an important job. So I just wanted to take a minute and point out that your state representatives, your lawmakers, are more than lawmakers. We are your hired customer service for state government in Lansing and right here in your district. Call us for assistance navigating departments. We've done a lot of work around unemployment. They're going to try to hire my staff away before long. I'm certain of it. But any resources that you need, and if you're not sure what level of government takes care of that issue, if you reach out to our office, we can help make sure that to connect you with the departments that address your issue. I provide legislative updates and information through community conversations once a month, mailings a couple times a year, e-newsletters. So if you haven't already submitted your email address, share that out. I also do issue-specific town halls, roundtables. I attend community events, visit local businesses and organizations, and shape policy and set funding. So a lot of those ideas for what needs to change in Michigan come from calls from the community that say, I have a concern, this is a problem, can you help? And we look at what that looks like. So I wanted to take a minute. I have the privilege of being state representative, but I couldn't do a fraction of what I do without my amazing staff. If I can't clone myself, they are the next best thing because many hands make life work. So let me introduce Dawn Jakubowski is a neighbor from the community who commutes to Lansing, and she's my legislative director. She has been with me since day one, starting with constituent services and now helping to shape the policy. So I'm so proud that she followed me and works with me and makes life easier. Also, Renee Watson. Renee is constituents director, absolutely. And she's usually the first voice you hear when you call the office, the first one to read your email, address issues. And so when you hear that friendly voice at the end of the phone, you know it's Renee. I also want to shout out our amazing interns. Each semester, we take in anywhere from 1 to 3 interns. They're college students And they're often unpaid. So these are volunteer positions for experience. So Emily and Max are spending their summer with us in district in Lansing, working on various degrees and to get practical life experience, and who knows, one day they may be serving their community in this capacity. Okay, let's start with some legislative updates from Lansing. So one of my priorities from education is addressing teacher shortages. We know that it looks like shortages, long-term subs in classrooms because they cannot find the teaching professionals. It looks like a shortage of substitutes where administrators might be subbing out buildings, classrooms, because they don't have enough substitute teachers. So working with Republican Steve Johnson, we put together a package of 2 bills. Pardon me. House Bill 4375, and my bill is House Bill 5536. And these work on lowering the barriers to return retired teachers to the classroom. There is no one more qualified with experience on education, instruction, and classroom management than retired teachers. And so it always seemed ridiculous to me that the state wanted to put a 12-month barrier to allow retired teachers to come back to the classroom and to work as a substitute if they're collecting retirement. Nobody says a teacher can't go to Walmart to be a greeter, that they can't go work at another establishment, fast food, and they won't dock their retirement. But let them come back in the classroom and you're going to penalize them? I say don't let them get away. So we still have a 9-month buffer, but that's shorter and with fewer penalties. And I'm very proud. We did a lot of work and made it through the Senate before summer and district work period, and it is going to the desk of the governor, and so we hope she signs that very soon. Another one of my priority is my work with opioids in the community. One of my first town hall was Chasing the Dragon, working with CARE and so many of our providers in the community. And so we've been working with, I'm going to shout out Mark Kilgore over at CARE and RUCC, and he brought legislation, and that I want to shout this out because I want to point out to community members, even though it takes a rep to introduce the legislation, community members often are the seeds of getting that legislation started. So they brought us language, they looked at other states around the issue of kratom. If you've never heard of kratom, check in with us. We'll get you some fact sheets. It's a substance that is being used, but there's not a whole lot of information for people who are using it. And so instead of banning it, making it illegal, we took the approach of regulation. So if you are an adult, it would restrict age. You are making an informed decision about what you're using as well as the potential problems if you're using it. So I want to applaud the work and to be able to work so closely, and we made it through the House, and it is on to the Senate, so we're waiting for a Senate hearing. If anyone wants to send an email and encourage that it goes a little further, we'd appreciate it. But we're expecting to prepare for a hearing after August, so going into September. Our last hurrah in June was passing budgets. Usually state budgets are due by the last day of September, but we try to get education budgets in before the first day of July, since school districts and local government have to have their budgets in by July 1st. And for the first time in I don't even know how many years, we passed not only school aid fund education budget, but we passed the entire budget for the state of Michigan, including all the departments, which is a huge deal. So I am very proud. I was sleep deprived. It didn't end until 3:30 in the morning, but it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. Some of the things that came out of it were a significant increase to per pupil funding. One of my priorities is adequate funding for schools. People think that whatever the state pays a school district should be adequate. That's counterintuitive. Organizations have priced out what does it cost to provide a classroom teacher that's highly qualified, the resources, the consumables, the support staff, the curriculum. And instead of saying, you know, you got this much, go find something that works, we say, here's high quality education curriculum, and this is how much it's going to cost. We need to invest in our children. Other highlights. $214 in per pupil funding for mental health and school safety funding for every kid in every public school district in Michigan. Additional funding to meet students' individual needs for nearly 200,000 special education students and 710,000 at-risk students. That's not only special education, but students from low incomes and students who are English language learners. And so we know they need additional resources, whether it's a bilingual teacher, a resource room teacher, small group instruction, reading specialists. And it's so important that we provide the funds for the resources those kids need to be successful. And so we are working around making education more equitable. We've funded 1,300 more free preschool slots at Great Start Readiness program. That's a preschool program. So if, depending on income, these children will have access to a free, high-quality preschool program. So we're expanding access for that foundational education to make sure everyone starts off with a solid foundation. $250 million for school infrastructure. So the actual buildings, the sites, the facilities that go into educating our kids are not included in that per pupil funding. That's what your millage is when your community comes back, your school districts ask you to pass a millage for upgrades, maybe additional facilities for athletics. That's because that doesn't come directly from the state. And so recognizing that we have districts and buildings that are 50, 60, 70 years old that are in desperate need of upgrades, this was an infrastructure investment that was well worth it. $10,000 in tuition help for 2,500 future Michigan educators. So we have to start by preparing educators to fill those jobs that we need for that shortage. The department budgets that passed included MDOT Mound Road funding of $32 million. And so that is going to be Innovate Mound. So there was a Detroit News article that came out and said that would fund 8 Mile to 10 Mile. What the statement that was originally made is it'll fund the rest of the project. Well, and if Innovate Mound was 10 Mile to 20 Mile, you know, the conception was that 32 million would fund the rest of the project, the rest of Mound. But the county executive came out and made clear that nope, that is the rest of the funding for the Innovate Mound, and that we are responsible for securing funding for 8 Mile to 10 Mile. So we got our work cut out for us, but we have it, and we're at a point we still have $7 billion in state revenue that will be allocated in supplementals going forward. So we have opportunities to advocate for infrastructure. And even Innovate Mound, it's a combination of funding from local, city, county, state, and federal dollars. So these projects are huge, and they do require collaboration across government levels. And so we'll need your help. A lot of people think, we voted for you, go do it. I need the army of residents between 8 Mile and 10 Mile to echo to city government, county government, state government, and federal government. 8 Mile to 10 Mile is essential infrastructure as 696 to I-75. Make sure that gets funded too, because we've got plants, we've got residents, and it's highly traveled, and we know that especially when there's construction, Mound to 8 Mile is the alternative corridor for commerce and residents. So I need your support. Yes?
How in the world did that not get included in Innovate
I cannot tell you that. That was before my time. I would go talk to local and county government.
Yeah, I've tried that already. No answer.
I can't tell you about the districts.
The answer I got was not enough commerce between 8 and 10.
Which floors me.
It floors me too. Because
it floors me.
Chrysler that takes up a whole mile.
Thank you. And before that, the trucking plants. And yes, there is commerce. There's significant commerce that comes through that. So I can't speak to happen what before I was there. And part of my confusion was I put in asks for that funding. And what passes at 3:30 in the morning, sometimes you wake up the next morning and go, hey, that project got funded. That's amazing. So, we'll keep working. Government takes a long time. People want to pick up the phone and get an answer and get policy passed. Government takes time.
Thank you.
Yeah, it does.
Good. Community updates. My staff and I have been in the community doing legislative doors, conversations on porches, drumming up business for events like this, but also giving updates and hearing out concerns about what's going on in the community that we can then take back and work on in Lansing. We did a whole series of education mailings on what we've been working on, our accomplishments that went out this summer. Hopefully those hit your mailboxes. If they didn't, we have extra copies here with us today. Just lots of good work. Elections are, we got our primary election coming up August 2nd. Our general election is coming up November 8th. This is your first, and I say first, voice in government. You've got to keep it going. So make sure if you need help registering, if you need help securing an absentee ballot, if you have questions about the process, I was just reading in the Warren Weekly that the clerk's office is running their public demonstration of their auditing equipment. And I asked how many public, members, that are complaining or concerned or worry about elections come and watch you perform this test to show and prove that it's working and working soundly. And they said, I don't think we've ever had someone. So the next time the person complains that they're concerned about election security, say, are you going to go? Are you going to go and participate? You can participate working for the polls. You can work as a observer. There's lots of roles you can play, and we need people. So reach out to our city clerk's offices to get involved. Redistricting is a big thing that I'm hearing about on doors. So an independent redistricting commission drew all the new lines for the state of Michigan. And there's a lot of seats that aren't impacted, but state representative seats look very different. I will not be the representative. First of all, we won't have a 28th House district. Warren will be segmented into the 13th House District, the 14th House District, and I believe either the 53rd or 56th at the north end. And so I will not be on the east side of Warren, but there are some really good candidates. I encourage everyone to look into your voter guides to find out who those people are and get to know them and let them know you're hiring them. An election cycle is the community hiring that community service rep in Lansing. Let them know your expectations. What is it that you want them to do for you? And then ask them those questions and see what kind of answers and commitments you get. I do want to take, so I will set aside time for us to offer questions and answers and do hot topics. But we have some really special community partners here today that I want you to hear from, because not everyone gets to go and tour the facilities, but you need to know what they're doing, because they're great opportunities, missed opportunities, and we want to make sure that you have them. And more important, you take them back to your neighborhood. And when you're sitting on the porch and talking to a neighbor who has a problem, that you can say to them, hey, we have someone who can help you with that and help make those connections. So I am running down the list. Let me see. We don't have anyone from My Care this month. They're coming next month. I'm going to have Irene, you want to come up and talk a little bit about Judson Center? Come on down. I work with Irene. Our paths cross as part of the Warren Centerline Prevention Coalition. Irene is the current president of the coalition. She wears a couple hats, absolutely, for all your hard work. Come on. I don't know how long this is, but she also is a community liaison for Judson Center. And if you don't know about Judson Center, you need to know about Judson Center.
Thank you, Lori. Hi, my name is Irene Salem. I am with the Judson Center. Very happy to be here this morning with you guys. As Lori had mentioned, I do work with the Warren Centerline Prevention Coalition. It's very important to me. I am the chairperson there. Our mission is to keep our youth informed and away from the dangers of drug use, marijuana, and tobacco. And so we've been working hard on that, and I'm with Lori on the whole opioid thing too as well. So I'm also with the Judson Center. We are in Warren, located on 13 Mile between Hoover and Shaner. And we do things, we have substance use disorder treatment there. We treat with medication there as well for substance use disorder. We do mental health. We have a wonderful autism program for the young kids that works wonders. And we also do primary care over there. So we're there to help anybody, or even if you have questions on, where can I get some help? Does the insurance cover it? Whatever you need, you give us a call, and if we can't help you, we're going to point you in the right direction for sure. I'm also here to tell you too about Judson Center has a grant from the CDC Foundation where we formed a coalition where we can reach out into the community. I'm working in the Warren community to help answer questions and bring access to the COVID-19 vaccine. There's been so many changes coming about. The kids now are able to get them 6 months and up. There's so many questions around all of that. So we are out in the community giving information, answering questions about the vaccines. So thank you very much.
Anyone have questions for Irene about Judson Center? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So when it comes to addiction,
Uh-huh.
if someone's an addict
Uh-huh.
but they're ready for help,
Mm-hmm.
they can call you up and you can get them into a treatment program?
Yes, we do outpatient programming.
Okay.
So they can give us a call. There'll be an intake type service there, and then from there they will be able to receive help through therapist, through if they need medication assistant treatment to help them get off of it. And then there's a lot of support groups that we have. We have peer mentors that will help them along their journey.
If they don't have insurance, is there any help for them?
Yeah, if they don't have any insurance, there's a couple of ways that things that can be done. We are able to work on a sliding fee scale, so depending on their income, we would charge off that. And then sometimes if people don't have an income, or if they're on like just Social Security or something to that effect, they don't have to pay. So we always have a way to figure out how to get people treatment and make it affordable.
That's so good, because when like an opioid addict is ready, you gotta catch them then, because the next second they'll be dead.
Absolutely.
We have more resources too to speak to that also, Al.
Oh, good.
Thanks.
Wonderful.
Good to
Thanks,
see you, Al.
Irene.
Thank you.
Yeah, and make sure you visit Irene and all of our friends for resources that you can take back. Next up from MSU Extension is my friend Nancy Latham and Haya to talk about the program. So right down the block, we have the Thompson Family Center that houses several programs, including Macomb County Community Action, MSU Extension, and there are tons of programs that are offered. I know COVID we were kind of put on a hiatus and had to do some remote, but it's so good that you guys are reopening, offering more programming, and so take it away.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm Nancy Latham. I'm a financial and home ownership instructor at MSU Extension. My main office is at the Thompson Community Center on Hop. I also, for the north end of the county, I have an office at the Verkulen building in Clinton Township. So I work at both offices every week. The biggest thing going on right now is, at least in the housing industry, is recovering from the financial impacts of COVID. So the state has a great program out. It's called MIAF, the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund. I always forget what it stands for, because we call it MIAF. That will help people who qualify. I think you have to be below 150% area median income. If you were financially impacted either because of a loss of income or an increase in expenses, you can get help with mortgage, property taxes, homeowners insurance, gas, electric, water, broadband. They'll do up to $25,000. It is not a loan, it's a grant, so there's no payback on it. Even if you have no income, but you had a financial impact due to COVID, you can apply, because the only income requirement is that you can't pass the 150% area median income. So give us a call. We're doing applications. We send them out. You turn them in with the paperwork, and we schedule an appointment. It takes me about an hour to do your application and submit it to the state. So I think I'm getting close to crossing 70 applications that I've helped people submit. So let people know the help is out there. We try to get the word out, but they don't. Then on the other end of the spectrum, I also teach home buyer education for first-time home buyers. They're usually wanting to get the down payment assistance through the state, so that is available. We do budgeting. We help you look at your credit and see what's going on with it, if you need some help with maybe getting some of those debts paid off and things like that. And foreclosure intervention, which was the big thing prior to COVID, causing problems. So we offer classes and one-on-one counseling. So feel free to give us a call. And now I'm going to introduce Aya.
Yes.
And she works in health and nutrition, and she's going to share what she does.
Hi everyone, my name is Hayal Zeev, and I'm the health program instructor for Macomb County, and I also work at the Thompson Community Center. I haven't been there too long, but it's been a good experience so far. So the programs that I do are the Relax Alternatives to Anger program and the Stress Less with Mindfulness. So we can do them online or in person, right? I'm very flexible in that, especially since COVID. So the classes didn't stop, right? We kept going, but we offer them online for the people who are able to access them. So they help with like stress reduction, pain relief, improved focus, especially during COVID, right? We went through a lot mentally, right? So these classes are open for everyone. They're free, adults, seniors, teens, right? So we also have programs like powerful tools for caregivers, sleep, so how to sleep better, right? We have the Tai Chi for arthritis and fall prevention. So those classes are also offered. So please, I have flyers if you want to register to these classes. If you have any more questions, please let us know.
Is there a cost for these programs?
No, they're free. I mentioned they're free. No worries.
Fantastic. Thanks. The first time I visited MSU Extension, they were like, "Have you heard of 4-H?" And I was like, "Yes." Did you know that we have 4-H programs in our community? I always thought those were for the farm kids, and we have 4-H programs. They do summer camps. They do health and nutrition, physical activity, all the things that create a healthier community we can access through them. So, and a lot of times, if you can't think of it, first of all, they probably already offer it, but if you go and ask, they're always creating new programs. So I'm glad to see that. Next up, can I have Adrienne come on up? Adrienne also is a part of the Warren Centerline Prevention Coalition, which is where our paths cross, but she works for Care of Southeast Michigan. They offer a whole host of resources, and they do a lot of work. So here's to you, Adrienne. Come on down.
Thank you. you, Lori, for making it available for community resources to come out. Thank you for making it available for community resources to come out so that the public can see them, and for broadcasting this. So a lot of people don't know what they have access to, and so we really appreciate that. So I'm a community organizer at CARE, and CARE works with the Macomb County Office of Substance Abuse in order to be in communities throughout Macomb County and help establish a prevention response to substance use. This, substance abuse prevention doesn't just happen. It actually needs work by a community to invest in that response, and that might mean providing information out in that community, having town halls, having free programs that go out into schools and educate kids on the dangers of vape, on the dangers of marijuana, on underage alcohol use. That's a big portion of what we promote with the coalition. We are seeking members to, build our capacity. Being a coalition member might mean that you come to a meeting once a month via Zoom. Our meetings are over Zoom, so we are really convenient to access. Or it might mean that you have a resource that you want to help the community with. Maybe you want to help put labels on flyers, or maybe you would want to help at your business advertise some substance use prevention information, or maybe some harm reduction information. Right now at our table, the health department has given us medication lock bags and marijuana edible lock bags, where you can lock up marijuana, or you can lock up your medication and keep it out of the hands of little ones where it doesn't belong. Every year, Poison Control is telling us that little ones are gaining access to things that look like candy that are not really candy, and we want to let the community know that you can prevent that from happening by locking that up, and locking up any alcohol you have as well. And so that's just one of the many things that we do. We like to work with community members, and we'd like to know what you think about what are some issues in the community as well. So I have some information to get a hold of us. You can reach us also on our Facebook page at WCPC for Change. That's our Facebook page, or WCPC4Change@gmail.com. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't stop talking about how much I've learned in the last 3.5 years about these resources. And we are seeing an epidemic of people eating things that they don't realize have marijuana in them, and especially our children. So just raising that up. We also do, we staff the drug take back that the DEA sponsors nationwide. Our volunteers staff local ones. But it's important to know that anytime you want to clean things and get things out of your medicine cabinets, you can bring them both to Warren and Centerline, Public Safety and Police Department, and they will dispose of those for you. So let me see. Did I miss Amanda Klein? Did she? No. Is Liz here from Macomb Community Action?
She's not, but I can.
Come on up. Fantastic. And your name?
Holly Galen.
Hi, Holly, come on down.
Hi, everyone. I'm Holly Galen from Macomb Community Action. I'm a case manager. I work with veterans. That's one of the things that Macomb Community Action population that we work with. We also are in the Judson Center down the street, and we're also in Mount Clemens on 1963 Rose Street. And Macomb Community Action is basically the social services of Macomb County. We assist with utility assistance for someone in the community, rental assistance and prevention to keep them from becoming homeless, housing, food bank. We have a food bank that a lot of people are able to access in Mount Clemens, and a Head Start program, which everyone knows it's a very needed item in our community. And that was it.
Thank you. Yeah, one of the issues in our community is often transportation and access, and so having these right in the heart of our community makes it easier to access. Is Erica here? I didn't see Erica, but I did see Lauren from Michigan Works. Come on down, Lauren. I appreciate it. I had the opportunity to speak with the new director, and they continue to look for different ways to reach out and connect community members with job opportunities. So I'll let you speak to that for a minute.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren. I am from the Michigan Works Roseville location. That's right at 12 and Groesbeck. We help with employability or employment services, really. Everything from, your workshops, helping you build a resume, interview skills, even, kind of redirecting or maneuvering through social media and even searching for jobs, all the way up until services such as training, education, and different things. I'm a business account manager, so I deal mostly with the businesses in Macomb County, all over Macomb County, really. And so more or less with resources and helping find employees in different programs. We do have different grants and different things. So if it would be something that you would be interested in, the two local offices that would be closest here would actually be the Warren office that is now moving. They will be in the Cadillac building, right?
Yep.
On Van
Across
Dyke.
from the tech center.
Yep, across from the tech center. And that building actually should be opening Monday. So it'll be opening next week. And then my office would be the 12 and Groesbeck location. We also have different programs such as, the Clean Slate program, which is a very big one right now, and that's helping, people get their records expunged. That was a very big movement here, was to try to, okay, how can we help people? Well, some people have a record or different charges from many years ago that hold them back or, kind of create roadblocks, and I work on that program right now. So if that's something you're interested in or know of somebody, it's a quick survey online, or I do have some flyers. And then the next big thing is any resources, any questions or comments or concerns, feel free to stop by or just go to Michigan Works. If you Google it or, Michigan Works Association, it would be Macomb St. Clair. And that would be the best avenue for you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Did I miss any community partners? I think I checked in with everyone. So you got firsthand all the amazing resources. Some of them and maybe some more will be at our August event as well. So bring someone along to the next one, which is August 20th at Owen Jacks Community Center, 11 a.m. on Saturday. Really quick, before I open it up to Q&A, I'm part of the, Mark, come on down. Mark Kilgore, you're wearing your hat as Recovery United Community Center. There you go. I had the opportunity to tour it, and it's fantastic.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I just want to bring awareness that we provide a lot of services through Care Southeastern Michigan. We also have another location, which is a Recovery United Community Center. So we work with people seeking or in recovery from substance use disorders. I have to look at the list because we do so much, I forget something. Some of the services we have to offer is we have a co-ed peer support groups for people in recovery. We have women only, men only, LGBTQIA, and we recently started a peer-to-peer group for veterans only because we saw a big need for that in the community. We also provide a program called Recovery Dharma that's more like the mind, body, spirit healing, like a Buddhist type approach. We offer free yoga. We do a game night once a month for anybody's welcome. You don't have to be in recovery to attend these programs either. Yoga's free to the community. The game night's free to the community. We also bring in Access Point once a month. They have a mobile unit and they do HIV and Hep C rapid testing. And if somebody does test positive, they do offer them services for treatment. Computer basics, we do job readiness, we have medication assisted recovery anonymous. We also have Nar-Anon for family members of those that may struggle with drug addiction. Seeking Safety, which is a focused and evidence-based counseling group for those in recovery to develop skills and find themselves empowered. And we also do town hall meetings. We just did one Thursday night on a multiple pathways of recovery. And I've had the honor and pleasure of working with Lori, I think pretty much since you got in office.
Yeah.
And her staff is awesome. They often, I know Lori acknowledged them, but often they get overlooked. They're awesome. I mean, I probably work more closely with them than you because you're busy and they're busy too. But I mean, they're responsible for getting back to us. So I want to give kudos to you guys too. Thank you, Lori.
Thanks, Mark. Just really quick housekeeping. If you came in, thank you for continuing to trickle in. Like, this is not a hard start and stop. Make sure you take the time to check in at the table. Feel free to make a plate, grab something to go before you leave. And again, visit our community partners table. I just kind of want to put on the radar, right, as of Tuesday, Michigan had the lowest COVID rates in the nation. So I am a part of the executive calls with the data. For a while there, it was every week, then it was every 2 weeks. In the last few months, it's been every 3 to 4 weeks because our numbers have been coming down. But they're starting to see the start of an uptick, which it's happening in the summer. So people are spending a lot of time outdoors with windows open, not congregating. So there's some things that really work to our benefit. But we are seeing higher rates of hospitalization, severe disease, and death among our population 70 and up. And so we've never had as many preventatives. So we have vaccines, we have therapeutics, we have testing, and so we need to avail ourselves of them. If you need to know where to find them, how to get them, check in with us. MyCare is my provider for rapid home testing. Because I do so many community events, I want to make sure that I'm not the vector of spread in my community. So I try to, even a couple times a week, test to make sure that I'm not taking it from one community to another. And so I just really encourage you to get the word out. Sometimes, you know, we've had several months where we've been able to relax, enjoy ourselves. Community events are starting to feel back to normal, and we just want to make sure we don't end up with more hospitalizations and more deaths when it can't be preventable. So that's my PSA. If you need more on that, reach out.